Have you ever looked at a store and wondered how did they choose this location? You look around it and realize it's packed, and you say to yourself, "You must have used data to choose this location." And that is true and pretty smart, but the thing is they're missing something, and what they're missing is the reason why you're losing market share without realizing it. Big companies like Starbucks do not just pick random locations. They use something called site selection modeling, which is basically taking a digital map and stacking layers of data onto it to show the money-making hotspots. Some of this data that they look at is their neighbors, how many people are around them, and more importantly, how much money do they make. And they also look at their competitors, who has already set up shop there. And finally, they look at the traffic, how many people actually walk past the store every day. Another big tool they use is called a time drive isochrome. If a standard map measures the distance it takes to go from one place to another, an isochrome maps measures how long it takes to get there. Companies use this to define something called a trade area, which answers the question how many people are realistically able to get to the store. It sounds smart, and it is, but it has one important assumption that time behaves normally in cities, yet it doesn't. Let's talk about Nairobi, Lagos, or honestly any fast-growing city. 5 kilometers is not just 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers at 11 a.m. is 12 minutes. At 5 p.m., it's basically a life decision. Most models use average time to make calculations, but let's be honest, nobody lives in the average. Your customers do not live in a perfect world of clear roads and perfect green lights. They are living in the grind of the 5 p.m. rush hour and the chaos of the school run. So if your model is not accounting for this, it is not modeling reality, but a ghost town. This is where friction surface comes in. Instead of measuring the distance between one place and another, you measure how painful it is to move through space. Every road gets assigned a cost. This cost can be the time, the fuel, traffic, or even stress. Instead of asking how far a place is, you ask how painful it is to get there. And this perspective changes everything. Now let's bring in Amina, an enterprising entrepreneur who wants to open up a small coffee shop. But she cannot compete with the big flagship stores. Instead of asking the question, where are the richest people, she asks, where are people stuck? And she creates time-based isochromes 15 minutes away in the city at different times. And she notices something strange. These neighborhoods that are affluent and close to the big coffee chains are geographically close but temporarily far. This is the invisible data. Technically, those customers are within range, but realistically, they're not coming. Now, this is where she takes the risk. Instead of opening one big store in a prime location, she opens 3 small ones, 40 square kilometers, no parking, no city. To come to this decision, Amina used something called cluster analysis, where we group together different groups with the same behavior. That is why she knows her customers come from close office blocks and nearby schools that just walk to her stores. Now it gets even better. She does not just use GIS for location, she uses it for inventory. She knows that in the university clusters, traffic is high at night, so she stocks up on energy drinks and quick snacks. And in the office clusters, she knows that traffic is high during the day, so she stocks up on premium espresso and quick grab-to-go lunches. She's not just making guesses, but making decisions based on spatial reality. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes market share is not always stolen by your competitors, but surrendered, because you measured distance and not difficulty, and you measured population and not accessibility. Invisible data is not dramatic, it's just normal city behavior mapped differently. And sometimes that's all it takes.